Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end.
That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the lost art of common sense. Today we're talking about the dawn of America's golden age, brought to you by
Our
Donald
merch
J.
shop.
Trump and our merch shop. Buy our shit.
Buy our shit, everybody. Goddamn. Even somebody from Italy bought our stuff. So
We did. We sold a Trump shirt to someone in Italy. And since we accept no returns or exchanges, they can't return it. So I'm going to call it
it's
a
a
safe
win.
buy.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and welcome Matt to the show. He logged in early. What's up, Matt?
Not
What up,
much.
Matt?
What's going on, guys?
You know,
I see you've gotten more immature every week now that your handle says your mom, but you know,
yeah,
it's
way
fine.
to go, buddy.
I have no idea why that says that.
What's up, Jared?
J Red.
What's up, buddy?
So yeah, this week we're talking about pretty much this week's stuff, which is all around Trump. Kevin, I'll go to you first. What was going through your headspace on Monday?
Heck yeah, this is awesome. I mean, I was happy. I was, a new dawn is happening in America. And, I was working, or I had a physical that day. And I did some work. That I drove up. And I did some driving. So I listened to his whole speech on the road. So it was probably my best road trip in a while. It was just a good day, man. Just
I would agree with that.
Old Biden got, shoved into a helicopter.
Ushered. I wouldn't say shoved. Come on.
Well, whatever. And that'll probably be the last we ever hear of him again.
That's true. What about you, Matt? Did you have a good day on Monday?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I was working, so I didn't really see a whole lot of the stuff. I had to go back and watch clips of it.
What did you think of his speech?
From what I heard on it, it was pretty good, kind of what I expected to hear from him. But again, I heard the first part of it. I went into Terry's office. He had it on TV, so I was watching that a little bit and then had to get back to work. So listened to a little bit on TikTok, good old TikTok. And
back.
It was pretty good. Then I kind of shut it off after a while because I had to work.
Well, yeah, that is always a thing. What about you, Kev,
awesome.
dog?
I thought it was awesome. He was concise. It was to the point what he was going to get done. It pretty much lambasted the previous administration right to their faces because they were no more than 5 feet away from him. And he was saying how bad they were. I thought it was a good speech. The one where he did the second speech, that went a little, that was old school Trump down there. That was something. He just start rambling, telling stories, making fun of people. And,
that was pretty good.
Yeah. So
yeah, it definitely wasn't like when they said it was going to be a unifying speech. I knew that was not going to be a thing. Like there was no reaching out to the other side, talking shit about the people behind them, and
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it was known that BS Barack Obama, red state, blue state, we're all Americans, bullshit. It was, this is what's going to happen. This is the shit that's going to happen. We're going to shut down our borders. We're going to, there's only two genders, we're going to get America back on track. That's basically the speech.
Well, and I know that, I mean, it was a little doom and gloomish, as far as, him pointing out the problems that we have.
Well, let's be
But
real. America is in a bit of a doom and gloom type of way right now. I mean, things aren't great. They haven't been great in some time, 4 years at least. So,
yeah,
I mean, you got to point out what you got to fix. You can't just, be like, oh, everything's fine. America's great. Woohoo. No, America's not great right now. It's kind of going in a bad path. So,
Dead toilet.
yeah, if this election would have went the other way, I don't know.
Maybe a year. No.
well, and I think that the difference is since he's been in office before, it wasn't exactly the same. Like people are like, oh, he's just, being all doom and gloom and basically talking shit. Like, he's saying that, and then he's saying, and I can fix it. And I
Yeah.
have fixed it, and I'm going to fix it, and this is how we're going to do it. Before we get into the next thing, there's a kind of a controversy out there. Let's see. I'm not sure what the hell I did here.
What did you do?
I switched out. Don't worry about what I did. So, okay, we've all seen this, right? And I have our audio in it.
Oh yeah.
It's the infamous Barron handshake. Here's the thing. Everyone's like, what did Barron
What did he say?
Oh, Biden's face on that though. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they did clip it though. Like, it said, and how they said, oh, they made it look like he said it. Biden looked like shit, and he was looking back at him the whole time. That's not really what happened, but it kind of looked like to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, it looked like he was saying something to Harris.
That's exactly what he was saying.
And then Biden's like,
Biden.
oh.
He might have said something to Harris, and Biden's like, oh, can't believe he said that.
Yeah, it might have been like, oh, you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And Biden's just like, oh. It's either that or he walked over. He's like, do I smell shit? And Biden's like, oh, God, he knows.
He knows.
I think that was Bush. I think Bush pretty much pooped his pants in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
In the name of our God.
What the heck is going on?
Did you mean to play this?
No.
To have
I feel
mercy
like
upon
somebody's
the
messing
people
with stuff and stop.
in our country.
I didn't do anything.
I didn't touch it.
No.
Okay.
This is you.
Oh, well, I am doing stuff behind the scenes. I don't know how I did that. We'll get to that part later.
Yeah, I was like, that has
I
nothing
was
to
like,
do with
I don't know
what
where we're going with this. That's why we need
Matt,
a
did you
producer,
think it was
Matt.
did you think it was fishy that Michelle Obama wasn't there for the inauguration and the
to be honest, I didn't even notice it at first, and then I saw the thing. I was like, oh yeah, she wasn't there.
I didn't see where Obama was sitting.
He was by Bush.
Yeah, he was over off to the.
He was by GW.
Yeah.
Bush looked like he was lit.
Yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
Like, yep, we're back here for one of these. Yeah.
It's funny. He just looked like he was holding in a fart and just let it go for a second there, and it's like, anybody smell it? Anybody get it?
You're welcome.
It's
Yeah.
like something I would do.
You didn't think it was weird, Kevin? Or
No, I mean, kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. Who
Okay, this
cares?
is throwing me off. Why am I in this? Already?
I feel okay. So you're the one doing it. Stop touching stuff, Matt.
I'm not touching anything.
You just said, "Why am I in this?"
Yeah, you have
It
your
keeps
administrator
putting me
now.
into something. I
so
don't
you
want to be
can-
in it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're doing, but stop touching
Stop
stuff.
touching buttons.
Touching.
You don't know.
Yes, did I think it was weird that she wasn't there? A little bit. I mean, but from what I hear, they're on the outs anyways, her and Barack. So
It's pretty rocky. Oh.
yeah. I
Why
heard
do you
he
think
was
that
with-
is?
I don't know. Who knows? Probably because he became chummy with Trump. Who knows? Or
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if
or because
because
he's not gay anymore and she's a dude.
It's like, what? This dog ain't good enough for you no more? No, but it was like, I don't know. It's like, it kind of got me thinking on whether or not she was the driving force behind Obama destroying race relations.
I can guarantee you she did. She said she wasn't prouder of America since, something about when Barack made some racial comments and stuff. Or
Well, it just kind of made me wonder if she was like the super hardline leftist in the relationship, and it was her, influence on Obama that got him going.
yeah, I think so. Or maybe they just found a way to where they thought they could captivate, the black vote, so they just dove into it head first.
Well, what are your thoughts on Biden's last minute pardons? Do you think he actually knew what he was signing? And along with that, how must it feel to be such an utter failure? Not just for him, his whole family. Kamala, I mean, just because, and when we get into the executive orders, we'll talk about it more, but like Trump is proving everything they said was wrong and that, yes, they could fix this, they could fix that. And I mean, they're going to, I almost feel bad for them that they're such utter horrendous failures.
I mean, I don't. I mean,
I
Biden's
think he
last
knew
minute
what he was
pardons.
signing because he even said, "I'm doing this because I think that my family's been targeted for years, and pretty sure they're going to continue to be targeted now that Trump's in office." So he
Was it
pardoned
just the
them.
family members in the last 15 minutes?
It
No, it was
was like
also
20 minutes.
Fauci, or Millie. Those were I think the last minute pardons as well.
So it was his two brothers, his sister-in-law, his sister, and a brother-in-law. And then he also pardoned Leonard Peltier, a Native American activist who killed two FBI agents in 1975.
That's
Yeah,
random.
Or he didn't pardon him, excuse me. He commuted his sentence to
life in prison.
life in prison, and the old FBI director, told him not to do that. He said, "Don't do it. Don't pardon him. Don't mess with his sentence. Just let him live his life." But the guy's 80 years old, and I guess is declining health. So Biden's like, "Yeah, I'll let him live out his days at home."
You think that was a Biden decision on that one?
I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't think. No, it was one of the staff members that did it. I
What
guarantee
are
he
your
didn't
What are
know who
your
the fuck he was.
thoughts on these preemptive pardons, though?
I think they're bullshit. You can't pardon somebody unless they've committed a crime. It's bull. You can't just pardon a 10 years worth of whatever you did is now legal or not didn't happen. It's I mean, it's utter lunacy. This shouldn't be a thing. Preemptive pardons are bullshit. I don't even like really pardons that much.
Yeah.
But preemptive ones are even dumber.
Well, I don't know if it was. Yeah, I agree. It's stupid, but I just don't think he wanted him even being dragged into it. But that's not going to stop them from talking crap about his family. I
They can
think
still
that's
be
what he was
dragged into it.
more concerned about.
They can still be dragged into things if they get summoned into Congress
Yeah.
to talk about things. They still have to do it because it would be perjury after their pardon is up, or
Well, and I
not
think
perjury,
people are
but
going to
it'd
be
be
looking
whatever it is
into whether or not.
when you don't answer a subpoena. I can't remember what that is, but they can still get in trouble for that shit, and they can't even use the fifth. Because now they have to say, because they can't get in trouble for things in the past. So they can't use the fifth as a way for self incrimination because they've already been pardoned for it.
Yeah, I'd be calling everyone he pardoned in. At least,
Absolutely.
I would definitely be calling in Schiff, Cheney,
Yeah.
the January 6th committee, all that.
Yeah. I'd be calling in Fauci. I'd be calling in all these people.
I mean, I know people are looking into seeing if a preemptive pardon is even technically legal because it's only been used once before for Nixon.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he used it for his whole family and a bunch of fucking bureaucrats.
he pardoned more
It,
people than any other president.
yeah. I think it was
So,
like 8,000.
and all these
He
people are
pardoned
bitching
or
about the January 6ers getting pardoned. And it's like, really? Now, granted, they're like, well, they assaulted cops. Like, yeah, there were some there, and I still think some of the people that were tasing and using bear mace, all the stuff that Antifa normally brings to their protests. But
I guarantee 1,500
compared
of them
to
didn't assault
child
cops. Though.
molesters, rapists, and murderers that Biden pardoned, really?
Yeah, I don't care if it's 10 people out of 1,500. They got lucky if they got pardoned. But 1,500 people did not assault police officers. 1,500 people didn't physically harm the building. That was maybe 20 people total. The rest of them just kind of walked through or were just on the premises to where they geolocated their phones and they got arrested anyways. Not even
Well,
going
hell, the
inside.
guy that's head of the Proud Boys, he wasn't even at the Capitol.
Yeah.
They just said he was a ringleader.
He got 22 years for that.
Yeah. And the DOJ appealed to get the full 33.
Yeah. So, I'm glad he got pardoned. That was some bullshit fucking.
Well, and he was saying that when he was in solitary confinement, it was 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
He got let out for 15 minutes every 3 days to take a shower.
That's fucking crazy.
And then he had 27 hours worth of transport, continuously. And he was saying something like they put everybody in box cuffs and it basically keeps your hands all cramped up. And they're not legally allowed to keep people in those for more than 2 or 3 hours. And he was in them for the entire time.
That's because all your rights get taken away once you're part of an insurrection or something.
Well, and that's why he couldn't even be transported with standard prisoners because he was labeled or charged as a domestic terrorist. So, now let's see.
The ways they fucking made loopholes to fuck people over is amazing. And I wish all those January 6th committees had to go to jail. I wish they would look into them. They should still look into them. I believe these judges should be looked into. I believe these prosecutors should be looked into and see if there was any bias or, malfeasance on their part putting these people away.
Well, and there should never be. When you have a city like Washington, D.C. that's 90% plus left, you shouldn't have any trials there.
I agree.
Because you're not going to get a fair trial. And then you're going to get a leaning trial if you're on the left because everyone's going to be like, oh, whatever. But none of those trials should have been held in Washington, D.C.
I heard the mayor is still holding people.
Yeah, dude, I did hear that they're
in Bowser or whatever.
They're slow walking.
What a perfect name for an evil person.
Bowser,
the bad guy in Super Mario Brothers.
Well, that's true. Well, that's why the Senate's thinking of repealing the D.C. home rule.
And they should.
Because technically Congress is responsible for the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to have its own local government police force. That's all technically supposed to be handled by Congress. So they're thinking of repealing that because all left-wing cities, it's ran very bad.
Yeah.
So Monday was a busy day.
Yep.
For old Trumper. Did some executive orders, and apparently
200 of them.
Well, there weren't all executive orders. No, executive actions. 200 plus executive actions. One of them was basically killing DEI.
Well, at least in all the government, yeah. He shut it down. No more DEI. All those people got laid off with pay for a certain amount of time. Then they're just going to be done. And he wrote in the executive order, they can't just rebrand it as another.
Which they did.
Yeah.
They caught doing.
So I don't know what happens then. I don't know if you can be criminally, trying to screw the government or, is that, you would think so, right? Some kind of fraudulent.
Well, and he kind of led into what he was going to do with this.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
It is so weird that the President of the United States, arguably the most powerful man in the world, had to come out and say that. That is how far we have fallen as a society.
Matt, you want to take that on?
Yeah, when he saw that, I was just like, what? Do we really need to say this? We really need to put that out there?
That was my same reaction, but I think it did need to be said.
Not
It did.
only
It
Like,
definitely
that's what
did.
was so pathetic and annoying about it.
no, not only did he have to say it, people got mad that he said it.
Oh yeah. My
Yeah, that's
Facebook blew up, and like a bunch of people I used to work with and stuff. Oh boy, they were not happy.
Where'd you work? Some
Call
kind of
centers?
fucking hippie commune?
Call centers.
Yep.
it's the same thing. Yeah.
You get all sorts of people.
You
It's a
do.
colorful bunch there. It's a
It
colorful
It's
is.
bunch.
Hey, I used to
very
work at a
yes.
call center. Me and Josh. We were good
Yeah.
at it.
They're mad at that and the DEI, and it's just okay.
Well, he's
Target's rolling back their DEI programs.
they're getting rid of all
There's
of it,
like
and he's
40 companies that have dropped
Yeah.
all their DEI.
it's a waste of money, and all it does is invite lawsuits
I saw that
and stifle anything.
45% of Britain's government pay is to DEI offices.
Yeah, Britain's screwed. I don't even know how that. I
45%.
honestly don't know how that they could ever turn that around.
They can't.
Every eligible voter who's not like one of the refugees that came in would have to get off their ass, go in and vote all this stuff out, and then get rid of it because, like, their whole GDP, it's all London. The rest of the country is just like meh.
I mean, good job, Middle East. You're taking down the greatest empire in probably the last 400 years.
Well, that's all that Davos stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of goes along with maybe, well, he did close the border and he did it very fast. We went from prior to the inauguration, Texas was, and I don't know, they might have fluffed numbers, but they were reporting like 4,000 plus border crossing attempts per day.
Yeah.
And literally on Monday, it dropped into the hundreds.
If they were,
It basically dropped by 90%.
Yeah, I think if anything, they weren't reporting all of them that were coming through.
Yeah, that could be it.
So I bet you it was more than 4,000.
Are you happy the border's closed, Matt? I don't know. You look bored. You're sitting there swiveling back.
No, I'm just listening. Just listening to you guys.
Because we're very
I
entertaining.
am. I'm glad he took the military down there to protect the border.
Yeah, using military planes to get people over,
He's got
send them
tanks
home.
down there.
It's a deterrent.
I saw the transport. Like, you saw a picture of the transport. There's one with a tank on it. I was like, holy shit.
It didn't hurt your heart to see that lady crying.
No.
What do you think about him ending?
Why'd you even make the trip once you saw Trump was coming?
Yeah, I know. Like, they knew since November 5th that the gate was going to be. Now, some of them were trying to rush in before that happened, but a lot of them self-deported because if you get caught and you don't get asylum, if you try to come back legally, it's like a 5 or 10 year hold. So a lot of them just left because they didn't want to. If you get deported, like the U.S. has to relocate your ass back to your home country, there's at least a 5-year pause before you can ever come back.
Did you happen to get that video of that one Haitian dude that got caught?
The guy who said he's not going back and he loves Biden and Kamala?
Or he loves Biden and Obama.
I saw the video. I didn't get it.
Yeah, he's like,
I think I just saw that today. So.
He's like, F Trump. Thanks, Biden.
I'm not going back.
Everything that's happened to me is because of Obama. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he getting sent back because he was like
he had like 16 criminal charges in like the last 2 years.
It's like my crime wave is all because of Obama. Thanks, bro.
Basically. And if I was any kind of Republican, that's what I would show every day on, for my campaign. This is what Democrats got you.
I'm going to run through some of the obvious ones, and then we'll talk about the other ones that matter. He did release American Energy. He renamed the Gulf of America.
Hell yeah.
We're out of the Paris climate accords again, as well as the WHO.
Who?
The ones that what are your thoughts, Matt, on the no birthright citizenship?
Well, that's getting fought, isn't it?
Yeah,
it
was obviously
because it's against the 14th Amendment or something.
Well,
no.
The thing is there's not a clear definition of what the original.
It's a very vague amendment.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I keep going back and forth on that one.
Well, do you think it should be there or not?
I don't think anchor baby should be a thing. I don't think you should be able to just cross into America,
I don't. If
deliver
you're
a
if you're
child,
over
and
here
automatically
legally,
American citizen.
yeah, if you're over here legally, you should not. That's why they're called anchor babies, because they intentionally cross the border to have their baby here, and then they don't get sent back because technically, because of this very vague
Yeah, yeah, that I
verbiage.
don't agree with. Yeah, that,
But like if they're, I think the original intent of the text was, if you're over here legally and you have a child, then that child is, even if you're not necessarily a citizen, but you have legal status, that still shouldn't be a thing,
wouldn't
personally.
the kid be a citizen then?
Well, as of right now, yes. But my thing is, unless the only reason why, the only time I think that should be implemented and should like be actual, yes, you were born in the United States, you're a citizen, is if your parents are currently going through the process of becoming a U.S. citizen.
Mm.
If you're over here on a work visa and you have a kid over here, I don't think that should be a thing. But then all these Democrats are coming out. It's like, no, the word of the law says this. I'm like, well, the wording in the law, the Second Amendment is shall not be infringed. So let's go ahead and throw out the.
Yeah, the first line of it is all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. So
You
basically,
turned
what's
it
saying,
if I
like,
can't hear you.
you're a, let's say a French diplomat and you're pregnant and you're in America and you go to the hospital, you have your kid.
Microphone, Kevin.
That baby is technically, you know, a a French citizen because
Yeah.
that's who the jurisdiction is because they're not legal residents of the United States. So
Yeah.
that's basically what it means.
Trump did that on purpose because he wants to go through the court systems and go up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
So if they have a good case, then
I
yeah,
think
that might end.
I would think they do because I mean, why would they try to end it? I think his lawyers are pretty confident they can argue it.
Everything that he passed an executive order on Monday, they have thoroughly researched.
Yeah, I mean he
I
he has
guarantee you.
he has
Would
transition
have
team for
to.
what the last 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, that's all they did. Like as soon as he won the election, you didn't hear from him because
Yeah,
that's all they were doing. And I'm sure they were planning stuff even before that. Because like Trump, when he was talking to Hannity, said he never really thought about whether or not if he won or whatever. He was just like, no, I was running and I was going to win. Like he never really thought about what would happen if he didn't win. And really, he had to win.
yeah.
Because if he didn't, he probably would have ended up in prison, which, according to Bill O'Reilly, was the only thing that actually had him pissed off.
Well, I can imagine.
Was all the lawfare, like getting shot in the ear and all that stuff, and the assassination attempts. That was like. I guess he says he's not very introspective as far as like, yep, yesterday was a bad day, and then when he wakes up the next day and just keeps going.
Yeah.
I think that brought him to more uh, recognizing God and stuff like that. Recognizing, um, maybe I didn't get killed because maybe I have a purpose. Maybe I needed
Manifest destiny.
basically.
But he wouldn't touch the Bible.
No, that had something to do with he was waiting for a very specific Bible, and John Roberts just jumped into it.
Oh, was it?
There's always something behind the story.
People were just throwing
By the
things
time
out that
Melania
much.
had turned with the Bible that he was going to put his
He was
hand
like
on,
halfway through.
yeah,
Like John Roberts has now fucked up 2 presidential fucking like he's John
I
Roberts.
feel like you should be able to pick who is going
Justice
to
Roberts
give you
is
inauguration.
not a very good justice.
No, he's not. He's garbage, and I think you should be able to pick who is going to give you the oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean he's what?
Clarence Thomas.
I
I
would.
was gonna say.
I would
That's
always
who I
pick
thought
Clarence
they
Thomas.
said when they said what's his face was going to do Vance. I just assumed you picked what justice, and it was going to be Clarence Thomas, and
That's
they said
exactly
Roberts.
what I thought.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Who do you have? He had Alito, didn't he? No.
No, it was the dude who got charged or accused of raping what's her face,
Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh.
Oh, it was Kavanaugh. Wasn't Scalia? No.
Wiz Khalifa? What?
What are you talking about? It was Kavanaugh. That's who
Was
did
it
it.
Kavanaugh? I can't remember.
I'm telling you right now, that's who did it.
Okay.
I
He
don't
was
know.
accused of
happening.
rape, and he gave the oath to JD Vance.
But I thought they
Accused
picked him
is
too.
not-
Maybe
There's
he
no
did pick
way
Roberts.
I would pick Roberts for sure.
Maybe he did.
I
is
just
the chi-
assume it had to be Roberts because he was the head justice.
Yeah, he's the Chief Justice. So
He's a chief dumbass. What'd you think about him labeling cartels as terrorist groups? And what do you think is going to come from that, Matt?
I like it. I think it's good that finally fucking put as terrorists. What's going to come out of it? Nothing for a little bit, probably.
Well, we ended the war on terror, right?
yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah, there's no more
2021,
terrorism.
mission
Well
accomplished.
done, America. No more terrorism anymore.
No, but what I'm saying is the carte blanche, like when we actually declared war under Bush on terrorism, I think they ended that. Technically,
Yeah.
legally, we're no longer at war with terror. I think you
Terror.
can do special ops though against terrorist groups.
You can. Absolutely, you can.
We're not at war against terror, but terror we're okay with.
I don't appreciate you making fun of the way I talk.
Not
So
you,
Texas
him.
coming out again.
Oh, he
Terror.
also says humans.
The tourist.
New Yorkers hate H.
Yeah, I mean, I
Huge.
think it's a good thing.
Humans.
Hopefully we see
Humans.
Team 6 them.
With a car.
Yeah, I would. Well, and they
Uh,
are terrorist groups. Like, I can't believe that it took him getting
Sorry,
elected
Bostonians.
to do that. Like,
I heard that.
cartels are an organized terrorist group.
I think that
Just watch
Mexican
Lioness.
president is a cartel funded president. I mean, she wouldn't let illegals land today.
Well, she's going to learn real quick that she's going to need to fall in line, or it's going to get real bad down in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, we're closing the border to. If he all he has got to do is close border to commerce, it might mess us up for a while, but whatever.
Yeah.
But she
yeah,
is a socialist. Now the other one got it, but yeah, she's. I don't know. All these people are going to be putting on a face, but when you think you'd know by now, after the first presidency or the first term of Donald Trump, he doesn't back off. He doesn't change his mind. So
no.
it's like, nope,
You can't.
You allowed, and the thing is, they allowed all those people to cross through their country. So it's like, no.
He, he's never going. Yeah, like you said, he's very stubborn. He's what do you call that? Like when you just straight ahead. When you just look, I mean, kind of just like a straightforward.
Hard-headed?
Yeah, he's very straightforward. He's going to accomplish his goal or die trying.
Yes, and I think it's going to happen. So, but I'm glad that happened. And
oh, did you see the New York Times saying how terrorism is bad, or marking the cartels for terrorism as terrorist is bad for the economy?
the drug economy? I mean,
No, the U.S. economy, because it'll hurt relations with Mexico, because Mexico's so embedded with the cartels. So it's bad
Just
for the
watch
US
like
economy.
any TV show, and cartels are good for the economy.
For Mexico,
Drugs are good for the U.S. economy.
only
the
when
worst thing that's going to
CIA
happen
gives
if we get into a trade war
Jimmy Show.
is you're going to have a hard time getting some a lot of Ford engines up in the United States.
Yeah,
Because I know the Scorpion or the kick-ass 6.7 Power Stroke diesel is made down in Mexico, which annoys me.
Is it really?
Yes.
yeah, a lot.
I
Of
figured that
Most of what comes on a Ford is made in Mexico, shipped up to Kentucky, and then they put the truck together.
Yeah, so it says made in Kentucky.
That's true.
Technically, it
Toyotas
is.
are more American than Ford. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Toyota Tundras and I think the Camry are all made in the United States.
Yeah,
Most Toyotas are, yeah.
Yeah, it's just put together in the U.S.
That might change though, because I think he says if they bring the manufacturing back to the United States, he might drop the corporate tax to 15%.
And they should.
I'm fine with that.
I'm
Kevin,
good
what do you
with
think about federal employees having to go back to work as far as like out of their homes, and as well as the hiring freeze on federal jobs?
I could give two shits less about if they work from home. I mean, whatever. If they're being efficient, I guess whatever. There should be ways to monitor that if they were just as efficient as they were before. If they're
Is
not,
it
go
efficient
back
to
to the
be
office.
paying for the upkeep of all the federal
No,
buildings that
sell
are
them.
empty because they're
Fuck it,
working at
sell
home?
them.
People
Sell
are
them.
not efficient when they work from home.
You can actually track
Nice.
that by you can track efficiency.
The mayor of Washington D.C. was actually excited about that one.
I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. I'm more happy about the hiring freeze because the government has been inflating the jobs reports by hiring just federal employees, and that's basically where all these jobs came from in the last 2 years. It wasn't in any other industry other than basically government, and I think something else like education or something. I can't remember, but most of it was government jobs that were inflating the jobs reports.
Well, and I don't
And it's
think
mostly
Trump's.
DEI shit. So there's going to be jobs aren't going to look good here in the first quarter. I don't think because of this.
Well, yeah, because I think the federal government employs at least 25% of the workforce in the United States.
Yeah,
At
that's a
least.
ridiculous amount. It needs to drop to like 5%.
I don't think him making people come back to work was to occupy the buildings or try to make things more efficient. I think it was a litmus test on who's going to lose their job.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is why I think he did it. It's always like a side thing on why he does stuff. So that's what I was thinking. Um, so he's done all these executive orders, keeps doing them every day. He's done news conferences every day. He flew to North Carolina today and
In
LA.
California. Yeah.
Met Gavin Newsom at the base of his plane, which he did not know Gavin was going to be there.
Yeah, but Gavin thanked him for coming.
And then he promptly went out and started talking shit about Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. Well,
It's
could
like,
you
this
believe
guy not
these
supposed to
people are
be here.
California is the most fucking pompous bullshit fucking state we have. How are you going to spend $50 million to Trump proof your state, then ask him for money to help fix your state you help fuck up?
Not just asking for money, but he wants it with no strings attached.
Yeah.
And I think Trump was saying, yeah, we'll help you out, but you're going to have to require voter ID instead of voter ID law, and you have to start rerouting water from the north.
Yeah.
And Gavin's like, it's not just like a valve you turn. Apparently it is. Apparently, like when they shed the water into the
Seriously?
Pacific Ocean, it's there. It's channeled there. And
Oh.
apparently, I'm not 100% sure if this is true. Do your own research. But from what I've heard, is no, they can like adjust valves and locks and then channel the water to South California.
Fucking A, man.
Matt, you know stuff. Is what I'm saying true?
I think
it is.
so. I don't know for a fact, but I think so.
I think I heard that, but I'm not positive. It seems correct. I mean,
I'm totally fine with that.
If you divert it one way, I mean, it's not like they dug a trench. I'm sure they did something like like a dam system or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily do it in the amount of time, even in the 7 years, you could do it, but you can't. Now what they're trying to do is they're blaming everything on the weather. Everything's on the weather. It's been a drought. It's been high winds. It's not our fault. It's not because of us. It's not because reservoirs are empty or we cut the budget of the fire departments or the hydrants are empty and we don't have enough firemen to actually respond to fires. It has nothing to do with that. It's all the weather.
No, it's not because they had record rainfall.
But what I'm saying is they're saying that as an excuse so they don't if.
Well, yeah, it's easier to blame
obviously the fires happen.
Blame yourself.
Well, yeah, the fires happened. They were bad as they were because of mismanagement. So it's like, okay, well, if you want the rest of the country to help bail you out and this isn't just on the leaders, this is also for the left-wing ideologues that want to make themselves feel good for voting in all these morons to run their state. It's all on all of them. Sucks that their houses burned down and all that stuff happened, but they voted the people in here that failed them when they needed them.
Like I said,
and if you want the rest of the country to bail you out, there's going to be some concessions.
I said last show or the show before, I'll give you this one. This one's a pass. You know, you voted without thinking there could be consequences because, you're an idiot. So, but after this time, you keep voting the same type of people in it and it happens again. I have no remorse for you. You did this to yourself. This time I feel bad. I'm sorry you lost your house. I'm sorry, all this happened to you. But if you vote the same type of people in next time, that's on you. You're done getting my fucking sympathy. So let's see if they learn from their mistakes, or if they're like I said, Chicago, and just vote in somebody almost worse.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? You look like you're pondering deep thoughts.
Oh, sorry, I'm researching.
No, that's good. That's going to be your job soon.
Are you looking up the valve thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Well, you do that, and we'll keep talking.
Can't find it.
What I'm
So, wait, are you saying that you would give them the money, no strings attached?
me?
Yeah.
No,
You said this one time.
No, like, right now, no, obviously not, because it's happened. You're done. That you had my sympathy. This is the time when you start changing things, and there should be strings attached, because you have to learn from your mistakes. So there has to be strings attached for you to get our money.
You know what's funny? I was thinking like forest management and, rerouting water into South California. And then Trump's like, oh, yeah, I want voter ID laws too. That never entered my mind.
Yeah, well done him,
He thinks
He's
about the
using
stuff
this,
nobody thinks about. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. I want to talk about releasing American energy.
Yeah.
Because
Propane.
Canada said they're not going to give us energy anymore if Trump keeps up with if he does the tariffs. I'm like, well, we still have Alaska.
Well, and ironically, there was I'm not sure where it was at. There was a nuclear power plant that was being built, and it's extremely expensive. It costs, I think, and I could be wrong, like a lot of times, I think it's like $35 million to apply for a permit or a license to build a nuclear power plant.
Yeah, regulations on nuclear power plants are ridiculous.
Well, and if you don't get approved, you lose the money, and you have to reapply.
Crazy.
But they were building this one, and then they stopped it, and now they started it up again. So it doesn't matter. Like we can, if we're freeing up our energy, because one of the power plants down here is natural gas. We got a shit ton of natural gas. So it's an empty threat.
Oh, I know. And nuclear.
And why are there not hydro dams, like hydroelectric dams on the Mississippi? Is there? Or is it just like one generator to power the lock?
I know there is. I've worked in a hydroelectric plant, but it was in Minnesota. I don't know if it was on the Minnesota, or I was super sick when Terry picked me up.
I wasn't sure what I was looking at. I just saw water.
It was like 100. I had like 102-degree fever. Terry's like, "Oh, you can just sleep the whole way. It won't take that long. It's only like an hour's worth of work." Like, why are we going? So I still had to go. But I mean, it was one of the cleanest places I ever worked. But I mean, it was neat, but I don't know where I was.
Well, other than the radiation, a nuclear power plant's a really clean place to work.
It's
a whole lot better than a coal plant.
Oh yeah, by far. And nuclear is by far the cleanest energy.
Yeah, you just got horrendously deadly.
And technically, you can. It gets very inefficient as it goes, but you can use the rods until they're no longer radioactive. I mean, that is a thing.
Have you told the power plants about that so they stop?
No, they just throw them away because it's easier for, it's more efficient to get new ones than to run it down to like 0% radioactivity because it doesn't heat the water up as fast.
You do realize that the process of the reactor actually makes the rods radioactive, right?
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, the new rods that they bring into the reactor are not radioactive. They become radioactive during the fusion process.
Yeah, but there's a life.
To heat the water.
There's a life to that radioactivity. There's only so much radioactivity they put off to where it does dissipate over time. That's why they get rid of them.
I think that's why I was asking a lot of questions. I don't know if they appreciated all my questions. Like, why is there a giant donut in your basement that makes my dosimeter like visually tick up?
You should probably step away from it then.
It's like, is that cream filled? No, it's radioactive water filled. Oh. But no, it was funny because like we walked in, it was during a shutdown and they had the rods in cases and it had the radioactive symbol on it. But I was like, so this is weird. And they're like, oh no, new rods aren't radioactive. We make them dangerously radioactive in the reactor.
Well, I'm sure that's true, but I think they get less radioactive over time.
Oh, I'm sure you start.
So I think, like, if you can harness that somehow to make them.
Harness the power of the sun.
Yes, basically. But I mean, it's just that once they get down below 50% radioactivity or something, whatever it is, whatever you call it, I think they just get rid of them because
Well, and
they're less than.
I think by us harnessing our energy is
Of
why
course, I'm not a
Putin
nuclear physicist, so
the
I could
table.
be completely wrong about any of this. But I was reading about
You're
it.
wrong about everything.
I was
Oh,
reading about it today. So I was like, why don't we use nuclear
was it a Dr.
more often?
Seuss book?
No, it was some article.
Oh, the places you'll go, Kevin.
So it was interesting. It's just, people were like, because somebody was arguing, the argument was like a news article, and they're like, the waste was a big problem for people, and that was.
Well, it is. I mean, when they pull
They're
the
like, well, you can use it longer if you can somehow figure out how to. I mean,
because like a new rod you can stand right
put
next
them in
to
microwaves.
the spent rod that they pull out of the center of the reactor, that will kill you if you're within like 1,500 feet
Oh
of it.
yeah, like immediately.
Yeah. Well, but by us releasing American energy, that also is, I think, what's bringing Putin to the table, because he's going to attempt to try to start selling us natural gas to Europe.
Yeah,
So that's another positive, plus positive.
I think, and basically Trump said he's going to ask OPEC to lower their prices, to pump more to lower the prices. So it pretty much puts a stranglehold on
He already
oil.
did ask him.
Yeah, to where it puts a
Doubles,
stranglehold
which
on.
we'll talk about in happenings of the week.
Yeah, because
Happenings.
it'll put a stranglehold on Russia's income.
So, and I'm not trying to be over the top, but is it safe to say that Trump actually got more done this week than Biden has in the
Yes.
last year?
On paper, yeah.
And
On
interacting
facts.
with the press.
Oh yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
The dude was signing executive orders and executive actions and do this like a 90-minute press conference at the same time.
I think he's done
no,
like
that's
at least
great.
a micro conference every day this week, hasn't he?
Yeah,
The dude loves cameras.
he does.
Definitely does that, yeah.
He's as the most transparent president we've ever had.
Yeah, and he wants to get rid. One of his actions, wasn't it, to release the information about JFK and Martin Luther King, and
That was another one. Yeah, I forgot to write that down.
because he gave the pen to
RFK.
RFK, yeah.
Yeah, it was
He signed the
MLK,
orders and gave the
RFK,
pen.
and JFK.
RFK, JFK, MLK.
Yep.
So you know what that means? If the initial of your last name is a K,
I heard people,
just do not get into government work.
This is the fucking sanity of the left. And I mean, I just go on R4U page for Twitter, and people were like, well, why didn't release the Epstein files and the Diddy files? I'm like, why didn't Biden release any of this shit?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, why didn't any other president since fucking JFK's death?
Oh, he should
fucking release
100% release the Epstein files. 100%.
I think it's because there's still active investigations.
I don't give a shit.
Release the Diddy files.
Yeah, and I think
now that one's still fresh.
Epstein, Diddy, yeah.
Diddy hasn't not killed himself yet, so
yeah,
true.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I say definitely release the Epstein files. I think he will before he leaves.
And here's the thing that pisses me off about that and why they don't release documents. So they're like, oh, well, it's still an active investigation. Cool. So why hasn't anybody been arrested? The French girl who like rounded up all the underage girls for the gross, hairy, fat, rich dudes.
Yeah.
Like, she's the only one that I know of that has gotten in trouble.
Yeah. No, she is the only one that's gotten in trouble.
So it's like, okay, well, it's kind of like a shit or get off the pot at this point. And I don't understand why.
I absolutely think he should. I think there's people on the Senate and the Congress that are on that fucking list.
Cool. I'm fine with it.
I bet he's using them to get everything he needs.
As long as he's using that list in some way, I'm
blackmail,
fine with it.
Basically.
You sure you don't want Pete Hegseth as the defense secretary?
Speaking of that, what do you think of Markowski and whatever the other one is?
I only heard of Markowski, but Markowski is not a Republican, and the only reason she's in the Senate is because they got some extremely like jacked up, half-assed parliamentary style voting in Alaska.
No, what happened was her dad died. He got out or left, was sick, appointed her, and that's how she's been there. And I guess
No, but the reason why she's won the re-elections is because they have a real jacked up voting system.
Yeah, it's like a parliamentary type
Yeah.
thing.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
And then you went off pointless shit.
Well, I mean, the reason she's there at all is because her dad just gave her the spot, though.
Look, all I'm saying is apology accepted.
Alaska's, I mean, there's only like 60,000 people in Alaska or something. I mean,
you're welcome. You keep saying Eskimos, random. You just like
Eskimos. I just like saying words.
That's the word of the day. Oh,
Eskimo. It probably beats today's.
What is that? I can't remember the other one. Cinema? No.
Better than some.
There's Markowski, and then there's it's another. If it's the same one, I'm thinking, is it?
I think it starts with a G, but I can't.
I thought it started with an M too. I thought they both did.
It might. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they're going to get primaried.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, no, they changed whatever loophole that Murkowski was using to get elected in Alaska is no longer there. Good. So she's done. This thing that sucks though is I think she just won, so she has at least 2 years left, if not 4.
4. I think she just won this year.
What do you think of the media's reaction to Trump, Kevin?
I think I don't know. I heard something today that was pretty dead on. This seems like, they're just they just defeated. I mean, yeah, there's the same rhetoric, the whole Nazi Hitler shit, but it doesn't seem like it's as enthusiastic or as, pungent as it was. I mean, it could be also because CNN and MSNBC's ratings are in the toilet.
Well, CNN's firing like a lot of people.
You just don't have that oomph they did the first time around,
Yeah.
They're just kind of playing the same old fucking songs, and they're not even doing it with any chutzpah,
Well, I think what's going on too is they're still putting that out there, but the follow-up's not there.
Yeah, it's just like they're just like running through their normal thing, but they don't have any conviction behind it. I don't like.
Have you seen any reactions that caught your fancy, Matthew?
What?
Oh Jesus. My God! See, that's why you're going to make a great producer. Don't get too used to this lovable face, America. Once he becomes a full-blown producer, he's going in the back.
Yeah. You'll just hear his voice once in a while.
Eskimos.
When we're like, Matt, what am I talking about?
Aliens.
Aliens and pyramids.
It always goes back to aliens. No, I mean, I know that Acosta was trying to do some shit. He's like one of the guys who's definitely getting fired, and apparently everyone at CNN hates him.
Acosta is not getting fired. He just got moved to the midnight slot.
So. No, he's getting laid off.
Oh, is he getting laid off? I thought he just got moved to the
No, he's getting laid off. Like they moved him to midnight, and then they're laying him off. And the only reason, the funny thing is, the only reason why any of these people on MSNBC, like Joy Reid, Mark Cuban, whatever her name is, and like Acosta even gets seen is because the shows that people watch play the shit that they say. Other than that, nobody ever watches their shows.
Yeah, same reason like The View.
What is that dude's name? I mean, girl.
Which one?
The one on MSNBC that looks like Mark Cuban.
Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban's
like Mark Cuban.
Or is it Mad Cow? I don't know if she looks like Mark Cuban or Mark Cuban looks like her.
I think they both look like Rosie O'Donnell.
Technically, she had the look first.
They both look like Rosie O'Donnell. It's like Rosie O'Donnell's the peak liberal.
Apparently, once you reach a certain amount of anger, you just start looking like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Well, I want to play the Elon Musk thing since we're talking about the media's reaction.
And this was ridiculous.
They're pushing all the. Now, this is, I don't know, it's not super long, but it's a minute 20. I wanted to play as much as possible for as much context, but this is the only thing I've really seen floating around.
Over it, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Please welcome to the stage,
so awkward.
Mr. Elon Musk.
Man, sweet entrance music. Sure.
So awkward.
Yes. You know what? And this is just giving evidence.
Oh, is he thrusting his hips in a sexual manner?
I mean, a little bit.
Just so weird.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah.
He's just rigid in his motions.
Oh, we
And
probably
this
just
was
got
no
another
ordinary
copyright strike, by
victory.
the way.
This was a fork in the road
Yeah, we're
of
talking
human
over it, it's fine.
civilization.
The cameraman sucks.
Okay.
I know.
This
It's a freaking camera.
you know there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important. Some are not. But
Jesus.
this one.
Who's this cameraman?
That sucks.
This one really matters.
Yeah, this is shot on a phone.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
So here's the thing.
Did it look bad? Yes.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The whole Hitler thing, that's a hand straight out in the air.
Yeah.
Straight out in the
This
air.
is-
His hand was cocked. And then he said what he was doing. And they're like, oh, he's one of the dude who runs the Young Turks. That guy's a jerk off. He like tries to play no, I'm the higher one because I talk shit about both sides. Yeah, you're a jerk off. But he was saying that Elon was trolling it. Like, really? You think that just knowing Trump, that Elon's going to go out and purposely do a troll that takes attention away from Trump?
Oh,
Or
here's the-
could it be that Elon is very functional, but he obviously has autism?
Here's the thing, though. Like the
And he
ADL,
moves. He's always jerky. Like, that's how he moves.
the ADL, a left wing fucking. They go after almost any kind of right wing thing, and they're even like, "Hey guys, cool it. He didn't do a Nazi salute. He's just an awkward dude." Like the Anti Defamation League, which is totally a left wing fucking organization, was like, "He's just awkward. He didn't do a Nazi salute."
Yeah. Like, they showed all the times, like, him jumping onto the stage and stuff. Like, that's just dumb. They keep pushing the Nazi shit. And it's like, okay, well, let's roll in AOC's reaction to that.
Yeah.
I like,
Jesus.
you're going to do a
Poor
Sig Hail. You're going to do a Hail Hitler,
Here's a sugar cube.
or their rebrand a Roman
Wow.
salute from
Yeah,
behind
Roman salute,
the
get it
presidential
right.
seal of the United States of America.
I'm pretty sure there's a picture of her
It's
making that
on.
same motion.
It's on.
There is.
And-
you can catch almost any
What
Anybody.
is so important
who's on
for
public
us to
make that type of
understand
gesture.
is that as long as we don't give up,
I would be curious to
not
know
over.
if she
It's not
said
over.
the whole river to the sea thing.
it is not
I
over.
don't know if she did, but I know Rashida
Libs of TikTok started
No,
crying.
A lot of people from the
because-
squad did.
Because I said over the weekend that Donald Trump is a rapist, and they
So
went on
you're
Twitter
actually
and they
calling
went,
for the
"Oh, boo
destruction
hoo
of
hoo,"
Israel.
and I said basically,
you're
"F
like,
you,
oh my
cry
God,
more." I don't
anti-Semitism.
give a shit. Like, you want to support a rapist? That's
I really
on
hope
you.
Stephanopoulos
That's on you.
Yeah,
lost a
Stephanopoulos.
lawsuit
But-
calling him a rapist.
I don't.
Yeah.
And
You know,
they
he
wanted to
lost-
call
he-
in
he
all of these
lost a
threats into my
defamation
office
suit
and all this other
because he
stuff.
called Trump a
I
racist.
don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Do you think he's not going to give a
I don't
damn when
give a
Trump
damn.
sues her for defamation? And do you think he should? I would.
I don't think it's over. And
What do
I
you
don't
mean?
think she gives a damn.
Well, she doesn't have anything except for her fancy dress.
But it's not over.
Her constituents are dumb.
What do you think of the Les reaction? Like, I've had kind of a different outlook on all the craziness on X since he actually won, to where it's just noise. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, it does. I like getting on like the left's Twitter.
Yeah, you troll. So you do
Yeah.
troll.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Not Elon. You.
Yeah. No, I know. I definitely do. It's fun.
I did a
don't
little bit
always get a
myself
reaction.
today, and I didn't get any likes.
I didn't get anything today. I got a few yesterday. Nothing today though.
I think it's horse hockey. So yeah, I think I just don't think it matters. Like, I don't think it matters what the left wing the left wing media has destroyed their branding or their reputation so bad. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter all the crazy, stupid shit that the left. It just doesn't matter. It's all
No,
noise.
absolutely, it doesn't matter. No
The
one
only
cares.
reason why it mattered when Biden was office because the dude was implementing the shit, and
After
it
his
was
first
ruining the
week,
country.
Trump has a 54% approval rating, which is super high for any president, let alone Trump, who had like in the low 40s as his high, his last presidency.
Yeah, I think people underestimate just how fed up a large percentage of the population is with just all the dumb shit.
Absolutely. They just want to go back to normal. People just want normalcy. That's what people want. They don't want to be fucking dealing with all this bullshit, this transgender, this fucking guys and fucking. Did you see the Oscars? I didn't read your. Did you put that in there?
No, I didn't even know they were a thing because I don't care.
Where the best actress award, there's a dude up
What?
for the best actress.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Who is it?
I don't know, some fucking trans dude
Is it
for some movie
is it
about
Ellen
a
Page?
guy a cartel member transitioning.
Oh,
He's not going to win it, but
I mean Elliot Page. I did not mean to. Oh, I don't care.
I'm just saying, like
for
this
which
is
award, Kevin?
the Oscars.
Which
Whatever
one?
I guess the female actress of the year. So it wouldn't be Elliot Page. It would
No,
be
it's
some dude
it's a
pretending to be
dude that's a
girl.
woman.
Oh,
No, it's a dude that pretends to be a woman.
For best actor?
Actress.
Oh, actress.
that's
Some
the lazy
Mexican.
That's the lady version of actor.
Some Hispanic.
Even though female actresses call themselves actors now because they don't like to differentiate.
Do you see it?
I'm looking through the thing. I'm just trying to figure out which one you're talking
Read them
about.
off.
Is
Oh,
it
it's the
Demi
girl
Moore?
whose name is
Demi Moore?
No.
Bruce.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, no, Arrivo's not. That's wicked.
Erivo's a woman. Carla Gascon.
Yes, that's a dude.
That's the dude?
Yep, that's a dude.
I don't even know who that is. So maybe
It's because it's some no-name movie. It's about the movie because I was just listening to like Ben Shapiro today. He went off.
Amelia Perez.
Yes.
That's gotten nominated for everything, and I
Yeah,
had
it's
never
like the
heard of
second
it.
highest nominated movie, and it's about this cartel dictator dude or cartel leader who, in his late 40s, decides he's a woman and starts transitioning.
Oh, that yeah.
So it's a movie that nobody has seen, knows what
Yeah.
they're talking about. That's why nobody gives a shit about the Oscars.
Obviously, and it's just funny because
And it's not even
when
in
I keep
English,
writing down
it's,
on Twitter, the best woman is a man. This is the shit I'm talking about because men win all the championships in women's sports, and men are now about to take the Oscars away from them. Come on, men. If we do this
she ain't
enough,
gonna win.
we can get them back into the kitchen so they don't have to bug us anymore.
Harsh, bro. Harsh.
Yeah.
This is what the left's doing, though.
Well, that is
First
what they're
openly
doing.
trans actress to be nominated. Yeah, you're right.
They're slowly removing women from the equation.
They're
How are
mad because
feminists
the immigrants
not, like,
can't pick
instantly
our
turning
crops
on this?
anymore, and they want to put women back into the fucking 50s.
Well, the weird thing is the far left feminists are like supporting this. It's like
I don't
what?
get it. I don't get this feminist movement. It's like, yeah, trans women are women. Like, no, they're not. They have dick and balls, or they had dick and balls. It doesn't matter. They are a man, and you're supporting them to be a better version of you. You're a fucking moron.
So every time I think about that, I just think of Buffalo Bob.
Well,
It's Lambs. Oh
yeah.
Buffalo Bob.
Buffalo Bill, wasn't it?
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh. Buffalo
Would
Bob.
you-
Pencil Lambs, yeah.
You're thinking of Sideshow Bob
Sideshow
from The
Bob.
Simpsons.
Buffalo Bob. He's
Buffalo
Buffalo
Bob.
Bill's fat cousin.
Another thing. It's probably
He'd
where
be
he got
like,
the skin.
he's dancing around to the same song. Be like, "Would you do me?" Oh, nobody wants to do me because I'm.
Oh,
fat
no one
Bob."
wants to do me.
I gotta look that up. Who
You
is
can't
Buffalo
cut up
Bob?
enough people to get that much skin to make people want to do you.
Oh man.
That's Buffalo
All right.
Bob.
So last question on the main topic, Matt. What is your outlook for the country? Are we in fact entering a golden age? So I said Matt first because you're supposed to respond.
Am I supposed to respond? Does that mean?
Yeah. Dead air.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Just keep.
Yeah, don't go ahead and
just
take a
keep
drink.
your-
Don't worry about
You know,
it.
there is an
Good.
audio podcast version.
You know,
of this.
you could answer the question.
I could answer it.
Are we in a
That'd be
golden
too easy.
age?
That'd
Or
be
are we
too
going to
easy.
be?
No, I mean, I think we're still going to be divided because people are freaking stupid. And they're going to make huge messes out of nothing. But I do think that Trump is going to make a lot of things better. And I think the country is going to turn around a little bit. Is it going to turn around enough to be a golden age in the next 4 years? I don't know.
Well, you know, at least you're not a pessimist or anything. Kevin, what do you think,
I
buddy?
don't know.
I think it all depends.
Hey, I didn't
think
say
it
we're going to
depends
burn.
Well,
on
that's-
the next presidential election.
yeah, I am.
I don't think he can do it all in 4 years. I think things will start to turn around. I think a lot of what he's doing right now is great. You know,
Yeah.
It's going to help. I don't think prices are going to go down anytime soon. That's just a fact.
Right.
It's hard to curb inflation.
If
You
he
know, it's
gets
hard-
OPEC to lower the oil prices and gets,
If energy prices go down, then that will be a huge start.
that'll help.
You won't see anything happen for a year, though. I mean, nothing drastic. Things.
I think it's
gas
time
and
for
stuff.
tell.
Gas
I think-
will, but I don't think like produce, all that stuff will.
I
go
think
down.
time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a golden age isn't 4 years. A golden age is a prolonged amount of time. So if, Vance or DeSantis next 4 years.
How long is a golden age? Look it up, buddy.
It's not 4. I wouldn't think it's 4 years.
Shh, I was talking to Matt.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it all depends if our next president, Vance or DeSantis, and if they can go for 8 years, whatever. I think time will tell how this works out.
I would say that the golden age is basically is like this would be the setup
It's
for
a hell
it.
of a start, though.
If Trump delivers, and he is delivering on his promises, but if those promises pivot into making things cheaper, making more people, employed, and I do think we may have to do something to make people be employed. But like if that happens, then I think it'll feed into the next person. Because what are you going to run against? Oh, I don't like cheap energy or, 1% unemployment or, whatever. Like I want to go back to the weird shit. And I guarantee you, at least for the next 10 years or so, I guess it would be 12 years because it's, 4. They're going to harken back to Biden. Biden's going to be forgotten as a president. I think he already is. Like literally, like people are
This is
just
the game they
blacking
play
out the last
anytime.
4 years. But he's going to be used as reference material. And like you vote for a Democrat, this is what you get. And the Democrats are still, they haven't learned their lesson yet. They're still leaning on it. So
Well, I guarantee Trump, anything that happens right now, and you absolutely cannot directly correlate it right to Trump. Like there isn't, it might be because of his plans or whatever. They'll say it's because of Biden and his stuff. They do this to all the shit. They always say, no, it was the president before, unless the president before was a Republican, then it was, their president. It's never because of it's never because of the Republican. They'll always go back to the previous Democrat president and say they did all this good stuff.
see, that's the
That's-
only thing. Like,
It happens all the time.
well, yeah, because we do have a short 4-year memory, because people are dumb. Like even if like say that's the problem though, because so like if this stuff gets implemented, turns around, I guarantee you the whole world temperature is going to cool down with Trump in charge. It's going to happen. It already is happening. It just is. When there's a strong American president, the world's not as crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
absolutely.
But the problem is, then you get these, people like, I don't know if they feel guilt or whatever, but like the good times create weak men, and these little fast talking, snarky D-bags come in, and then it's like that we get into that damn vicious cycle. So hopefully we can prevent that. But I do think that the prospects for entering a golden age for the United States is very high. And I'm looking forward to see how things unfold.
I do too. We started this podcast or this show, I guess now, and podcast as a side note,
Which is
during
why we don't like dead air.
the first year
Matt.
of the Biden presidency.
You're welcome
And
for coming.
we
Yeah, it
had a
was something
lot
to
of,
do during COVID.
yeah, it was, we had a lot of stuff to, talk about. So hopefully this show becomes more positive
Yeah, we
in the
weren't the
coming
most.
years.
The only positive ones are when we're talking about aliens and ghosts and shit.
Yeah, the fun ones.
Yeah.
Hopefully every show's fun now, and I don't have to dread talking about some bonehead mistake or something.
But don't worry, Kevin will always find a way to say something horrendously inappropriate.
Yeah, like Dick and Bowles.
Dick and balls. All right, well, let's roll into winners and losers of the week.
In my book, you're a winner too.
I think you're a loser.
Kevin.
My loser is the WHO because we pulled out of the WHO. So F them and their Chinese fucking cover up fucking bullshit organization.
Yeah, apparently
The
China basically.
WHO.
How long have they been around? Like, because they basically turned into a propaganda machine for the Chinese communists.
I don't know how long they've been around. I don't care about them. I don't want to look them up. They're dumb.
Anytime I ask a question, I should see Matt looking at a screen and typing
He
words.
is looking at a screen.
That's because he's good. Unless
Yeah.
he's not looking that up.
But the WHO is a garbage organization, as is the UN, NATO. They what they do is they suck the fucking money out of America, then go against America.
Well, that's true.
That's what they do. So
Well, yeah.
they're losers. So
Well, I'm going to let Matt go next. And I'm going to jump off here for a second because mine's going to be a little wordy, and I got a lot to say about my loser. So, Matt, if you got a loser,
bladder.
go ahead and shoot it out there and discuss it with Kevin. And I'll be right back.
Well, I suppose my loser of the week would be Biden.
Yeah,
He's out. He gone.
he gone.
He gone. Yeah, he's gone. Really, there's nothing for him to really do except for just go and.
Do you think he's mad about it?
be
Or do you
retired.
think he's relieved?
He's probably thrilled to be out of the fucking position. He
That
doesn't have to
dude
worry about
just
anything.
looks. He looks so bad. What was I watching? I was watching Parks and Recreation with like an episode he was in, and
Yeah, he was like lively and
yeah, he was lively. He looked alive. He didn't look like he was just shuffling around. He was, he looked vibrant. And these last 4 years, I can't believe he survived it. Honestly,
I can't either.
like he shouldn't have ran in the first place. He looked bad before he ran.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's crazy because I think it was after Obama, they like did a before and after picture of the past few presidents, and before they were all lively and jovial and had hair.
Yeah, like
And
Obama had like dark
like,
hair, and
he had really dark hair, everything,
They
and no
grayed
stress
out.
lines. And then after his first 4 years, it's like, shit.
I think the only one that looked about the same as when he went in and out is Trump.
Trump or Bush?
Yeah, Bush looked about the same after his first administration.
Clinton, I was too young for Clinton's.
I can't remember either. But
what?
They all grow old. They all grow visibly older.
Well, yeah,
they look 10 years older.
Stressful job, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Trump looked better or about the same because he's been doing this his whole life.
Yeah.
Trump has been, dealing with the stress of owning a multi-billion-dollar company his whole life. So, Josh,
his whole thing is, I need to talk to another country. I'll just go and it's just.
Was your loser old people?
Biden. So yes,
I said Biden.
So it wasn't wrong.
Irish.
So I asked him, do you think Biden's relieved or he's actually done?
I don't think Biden's gonna be with us past. I don't think he's gonna make it to the end of Trump's.
I don't either.
Term.
It's sad. You feel bad for the guy, but you also know he's been.
I feel bad for what he's dealing with, but he was still a horrible person, and he did irreparable damage.
The disease he's going through. It's a horrible disease, and I feel for him on that front, but he's been a horrible public servant pretty much his whole career.
Yeah, he has been. Oh, and apparently just random as shit possible factoid, but apparently Alzheimer's really took off like in the late 70s, and that's also coincided with margarine coming out and vegetable-based butters and not animal fat butters. And apparently your brain runs off of cholesterol, so I don't know.
Cholesterol is good.
Great. I'm definitely fine.
That's why they say there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol.
Yeah, but the bad cholesterol actually it's not necessarily good or bad. There's both cholesterols do different stuff. Now, granted, if you got like 400 on the bad one, your blood's basically pudding.
Gravy just bumping through.
I don't bleed.
Cut yourself open, put it over your mashed potatoes.
You ever see someone suck it back into their vein? Check this out.
It just drips out a thick goo.
It's like, oh, it's clotting already? Nope, that's just my blood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They call me
I
Grady.
I guarantee half the diseases we have anymore is because of our food.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Good call.
And I think this is why I think this is the reason RFK is going to get pushed back, but RFK wants to get rid of a lot of this bullshit food, which kind of sucks. I mean, that's already gone. Red dye 5 is gone.
About 40.
It.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though that they came out and banned that.
They saw the writing on the wall, so
but like they didn't already know.
They're trying to save their fucking job, so they're trying to be proactive before RFK comes in. Like, we did something you wanted to do, so
that's a weird thing about the FDA because they allow food manufacturers to self-regulate.
Oh, I know.
So
is a lot of tasty food probably going to go away? Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I think stuff made with like natural stuff with like
natural sugar.
You can't tell me that a pork chop fried in lard isn't delicious.
Absolutely. Anything fried in lard is fucking delicious.
Yes, just fantabulous.
Yeah. Oh, this is red meat based fatness.
Well, my loser is Bishop Boudet. I just feel like that's the way you properly pronounce her name. I'm going to run a little montage on why she's my loser. I'm going to run a montage of what she said, her little media blitz she did, ended with what stuff she was on TV saying before. She's always been a left-wing activist. And then we're going to round it out with what was actually going through my head while I was watching that. So we'll watch a montage. We are linked in audio, so feel free to
make fun of her
while we're listening to the horrible words coming out.
I do like JD Vance's face.
Yeah, his face is great.
Yeah.
In the name of our God.
It's like, what?
I ask you.
Trump's daughter in the background, like, what is happening right now?
In our country, who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in
like, what the fuck are we?
Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives.
As a religious figure,
and the people,
by supporting transgenderism, you're also affirming that God made a mistake.
Labor in poultry farms and
kind of seems sacrilegious.
It does seem
who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. And
apparently, according to the Bible, there's not supposed to be female bishops.
Documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants
are
not criminals.
Falsehood.
They pay taxes and are
you
good
don't
neighbors.
See them a lot.
They are faithful members of our
churches
and mosques, synagogues.
I tell you, when the JD Vance has got the look down pat.
Dude, he's got that.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
I would have left.
And that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands.
Yeah, I would have walked out. I guarantee you someone's getting fired over this.
How could they not?
Our God teaches us
allowed this to happen.
That we are to be merciful.
Yeah. Now, apparently she does run that church, and she's sticking up she also stuck up for the people that burned her church down, which I think
in this land
is in the past clip she's talking about it.
May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being.
Melania's giving her the daggers.
Speak the truth to one another in love.
Melania's over this bullshit.
And walk
she's like
with
Luke
each other
Kang the other
our
day.
God.
Yeah.
Or
For the good
no,
of all people.
Kung Lao. Who had the hat?
Good of all
Was it
people
Raiden?
in this nation
Yeah.
Raiden.
and the world.
No, he was the lightning guy.
He was lightning. I think it was Kung Lao.
Yeah, Kung Lao.
He had the saw hat.
I was.
Yeah, this is her doing the media.
I was
blitz
looking
after
at
the
the
fact.
president because I was speaking directly to him. I was also, frankly,
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
do in
'cause
every sermon, speaking
all the
to
bullshit
everyone
she
who
was
was
anything
spewing
listening
out of her mouth.
through that one-on-one
She
conversation
did this
with the
for herself.
president,
She did this for
reminding
15
us
minutes. She knew the
all
world was going to be
that
watching.
in
She didn't
the
care
people
about
that
any
are
other shit.
frightened in
It's
our
like
country,
every
the
other
two
social
groups of
justice
people that
warrior.
I mentioned
They're doing it to
are
make
our
themselves feel
fellow
better
human
and to get
beings,
famous.
and that they have been
Well, and that's why she's
portrayed
going through
in
doing the media
all throughout
blitz.
the political
Yeah,
campaign in
absolutely.
the harshest of lights that I wanted to
As
to
inappropriately
counter
as I
as
could.
gently as I could with a reminder of their humanity and their place in our
This
wider.
is her making excuses about them lighting her church on
We are
fire.
upset about
Yeah.
the fire as well, but that is not our primary focus.
They couldn't
Our
control
primary
themselves.
focus
They were
is the
oppressed.
reason behind, the fundamental reasons behind
how is she
the
the
protests
one?
in our country right now. There is a deep
Is she
desire
Protestant
for
or?
the fundamental issues
I
at
don't know.
stake,
Bishop, I
brought
thought
to
was
light
no,
by
yes,
the murderous
Protestant.
death of George
Do they have a
Floyd and the
central
countless others that we've witnessed in
thing?
this long string of violence against
I don't
Black and
know,
brown people. That
but like
needs
I
to be
said,
addressed in a
it's
systemic,
totally
Get a
like
fundamental
job.
way
Like I don't
in
understand.
the
There has to be a
from
Protestant
every
high
police
school,
department
right?
in the country
Like there
and
has
the
to be a main
vigilante
Protestant
civilian
thing.
actions that are taken.
yeah, I don't
You
know.
told the Washington Post yesterday, and I'm quoting,
She's an embarrassment.
everything this president has said and
absolutely.
done is to inflame
But when you're
violence. We
a
need
bishop
moral leadership, and
in
he's
a
done
heavy
everything
left wing
to divide
city,
us.
you know, they probably are like,
Is
oh
there
yeah,
any way
tell me
to
more, make me
begin to
feel
heal this
guilty.
breach that you're describing?
So yes, there are any number of steps that any one of us can make, including the president, to heal the
Oh,
breach.
please give me
But
examples.
it isn't by inflaming emotions. It's trying to bring them
By
down
making all
and
white
trying to
people
offer a
neo-Nazi
word of
racist.
unity rather than
This is
rather
what I
than
was
division.
thinking.
In the name of transgender immigrants, I ask you to have mercy on
Do you need some medicine?
I need you to put transgenders' lives first!
Whoa, is this a church or a Kamala Harris rally?
Mr. Not My President, illegal immigrants are not criminals!
Then why do they call them illegal?
I'm just assuming this is all what JD
Violate
Vance and
the
Trump are
rights of all
thinking.
illegal immigrants!
That's exactly why I'm building the wall.
And just exactly what are you gonna do to help the transgender community, you fucker?
I'm gonna make mental institutions great again. Hell yeah! Settle down, you dingbat. This chick is bonkers. Yeah, she should come with a fucking warning label.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children!
Keep our children's name out your fucking mouth.
You racist!
Can somebody shut this bitch up?
Have mercy on the transgenders and illegals, you racist!
Can you shut the fuck up? Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm down here trying to come up with new ways to make America great again. And you're up there looking like the keynote speaker of a which bathroom do I pee in convention.
Excuse me?
You're excused.
I have never!
You've never what? Made a rational thought on your own or gone 2 seconds without having a fucking panic attack?
How dare you!
No, how dare you? This is church, and you don't belong here. Why don't you go scream into a pumpkin, you doofus? Yeah, you doofus.
Coalition of blood, you
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I'm calling the police!
Good. You're gonna feel right at home in that straitjacket.
I'm a bitch!
No, you're an activist and a freaking nut job. It's like listening to Rosie O'Donnell taking a shit.
Yeah. My brother sent me that, and I was like, "Yep, I'm using that in the show."
Oh yeah, that was good as hell. That was funny. I needed that.
Like that's what I hear when I talk.
That was
There's
good.
just something, and like I don't know. I guess I don't really care other than because I'm not like I'm a Christian and I'm trying to get a little stronger in my faith and everything nowadays. But like apparently it's in the Bible that they're not supposed to be female priests
Yeah.
and people,
Oh.
you know. But it's funny because I've been to another church. She's not a far left, you know, radical D-bag like this one, but it's like kind of the same vibe, even the same voice, and I'm like, this is just boring and it's weird.
Yeah, I went. You know,
It sounds sexist as hell, but I'm just,
no, I
mean,
get it.
that's just
Like
how I
Kevin
feel and
said,
how
you
it
know,
came off. You know, It's just
You
weird.
I don't know. It's just it just doesn't seem right. I
But
don't know.
that one is a boudet.
Yeah.
She's an embarrassment. That was horrendously like we talk about unity, and then you can say whatever you want. You can push all this left wing bullshit, and you can try to do all that crap. But at the end of the day, he won, and he won as far as Republicans go in a huge tsunami red wave. I mean, he's the first Republican president to win the popular vote in since Reagan. So I mean, and then he sweep the swing states, and then you're going to get up there and say shit like that, and then talk about unity in your soft, weird, uninspiring voice. So yeah, that's why, hands down, she was my loser of the week.
And I think
Kevin, now let's go to Matt first. Matt, who's your winner? You got a winner?
Not really.
You don't
America.
even try. America. So we are in a golden age. You were lying earlier.
Yeah.
What?
You
wouldn't answer. He didn't answer. Remember?
I did answer. I gave an answer eventually.
When you start producing the show, we might not.
5 minutes.
We might not be able to let you in.
He's gonna kick me out. He's gonna be like, "Okay, Matt, let's
he
go." He
doesn't even try.
Oh, come on!
We'll
you can come on for
the white slur of the week and
go away.
Look up dumb shit we're saying that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, "Excuse me, Josh, you're wrong."
I'm totally fine with doing that. I'm cool with that. Kevin, who's your winner?
My winner is Elon Musk because we're going to motherfucking Mars. So he was super excited about that.
Yeah.
So,
he was definitely excited. Definitely excited.
So,
and everybody thinks like when they're talking about these tech oligarchies or whatever that word is.
Malarkey?
Oil malarkeys.
Oligarchs.
You can tell by the stuff that Elon does on his own on X that there's no he's there to do his Doge thing. And every now and again, it's not like he's does whatever Trump says. I don't think there's really any other than them talking about stuff.
He's been talking shit about Sam Altman, and we'll get into that here in a minute.
But yeah, he goes off on tangents a lot. But I mean, was it him or is it Trump? Somebody got super rich lately. But I know his stock's going up. But you got all these left wing morons saying, "Oh, I'm giving up my Tesla because of Elon." Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah, whatever.
You gonna go out and buy a diesel and really show them? I'm gonna buy me a diesel. I'm gonna delete it.
Buy me a diesel.
Then I'm gonna roll coal.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So, Elon Musk is my winner. I think it's awesome. I hope we do go to Mars. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm
really excited about it. That way they can, or it's going to be really good CGI. I don't know.
Hopefully, Matt Damon doesn't go with them. Might be lost up there for a while.
Don't say that. He's just bad luck.
I just saw an article or something. I saw something. Where was it? Can't remember. I think it's some science thing that they accidentally thought they found a new asteroid, but it was actually when he shot that fucking car up into space.
It was his Tesla Roadster.
So that's what they caught on the camera, thinking it was a new asteroid.
Oh, that's funny.
New asteroid. Oh no, it's a Tesla.
No, it's just Elon's car. Damn it!
It's just that Tesla they shot up into space.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I want to be in the room when they see that and realize what it is. And then it's going to be like an Austin Powers montage.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Tesla has a driver in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
If there's intelligent life out there, I'm just saying.
I really hope we do go to Mars. Though. I think it'd be awesome.
Who the hell shoots an inanimate object looking like the beings from its planet in a car in space? We found the disc with the naked dude, and now we found this car. Yeah, I don't know. I think, we have to become, interplanetary or whatever, but we have to spread out, and we have to be able to leave our solar system, or, I don't know, maybe the second coming of Christ will happen before that. But if it doesn't, we have to leave this planet.
Yeah, and preferably leave the solar system.
Yeah.
No, we have to be able to leave the solar system.
Black hole, go in it.
Because eventually the solar system will end, or there will be some catastrophic event that will impact the Earth. Let it be a super volcano, an asteroid. Something will happen that will endanger humanity's like survival to where we
I'm
need to
not
be at least
100% sure counting on the
interplanetary.
planet that's been struck by 2 huge meteors is the best place to set up camp. But
Well, I mean, it's just an extra option.
yeah, I mean, but we have to be able to leave our solar
It's
system
nice to have
because
options, buddy.
at some point, if we don't vaporize ourselves, when the sun becomes a red giant, we're going to be inside the sun anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What is that called? That certain barrier where isn't there a barrier for like every civilization to, if it makes it past it, then it'll
We're in it.
survive? Yeah.
We're in the either if we work ourselves through it, then we will become interstellar beings and be able to travel the universe
That was an
and the
amazing movie.
galaxy and stuff like
Or-
that. But
or
we're
we'll
currently
destroy
in the
ourselves.
stage where it's either we're going to blow ourselves up or we'll work ourselves past it and basically use all our technology for good and instead of coming up with weapons that could vaporize the earth. And then so yeah, we're in the red zone.
Hopefully make it.
2-minute warning.
Basically.
My winner is the January 6th hostages, as
Hell
Trump
yeah.
likes to call them. And I 100% feel like they deserve it. And I'm glad he just said, fuck it, and pardoned them all.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to go through everybody's screw it. They've all been in jail. It's been documented. They've been treated horribly. Plus, his biggest reason for one of the excuses for doing it is the Jan 6 committee destroyed a bunch of evidence, so none of them can get a fair trial. So he's like, all right, I'm just pardoning them all.
Yeah, I agree with it. I think they all got unfair trials. So even if they did something wrong, I think the bias of the fucking place, the courtroom, it justifies them getting a pardon. So I have no
I'm
problem
fine
with it.
with it. I mean, the guys that went in, that was dumb. And we've said that countless times on this show.
Yeah, anybody
They
committed violence or
were
act of
dumb.
whatever. I'm glad they all got pardoned. I don't think they got a fair shake.
Well, the whole thing behind it, how their rights are stripped from them, calling them insurrectionists and all this stuff, it's just a black eye. All the political lawfare. He's just undoing a bunch of shit. I mean, he pardoned, we'll get to it in the happens of the week, but pardon the pro-lifers. He's just undoing lawfare. So
Yeah.
that pretty much wraps up winners and losers of the week. So we're going to roll into the Trump truth, but it's a little different, but we're going to go ahead and roll into it.
Yeah.
What I say is what I say. What I say is what I say.
The dude's just dancing with a sword. That's fucking
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, it's just like, and there is an actual truth he made that I could have used. Where I'm like, nope, I'm staying with the president of the United States dancing to the YMCA song by the Village People with a sword in his hand.
They want to call him Hitler, but pretty sure the Village People are all a bunch of gays.
Well, yeah, I think I heard that they were.
Yeah, so I don't think Hitler would be dancing to a group of gay dudes. I'm just saying.
Well, and he would have been chopping the shit out of that cake, not grabbing
I was
the
waiting
blade.
for it.
That's what I thought he was going to do. I was hoping he was going to cut the shit out of that cake. Like, hiya!
You know,
was
when
like-
I first saw it, I was like, is he supposed to be dancing with that sword?
No, I don't think he was supposed to be dancing with it.
It's like, is he supposed to even be holding
Hey,
that
you know
sword?
what? Kudos to that female military personnel because she kept
Marine.
her cool the whole time.
Yeah.
And
Well, and then
he
I
was,
looked
like,
it up,
right
and
next
yeah,
to her.
apparently sword dancing with a Marine sword is a thing. So, interesting.
Like not supposed to do or do.
It's tradition where sword dancing, where people perform choreographed movements while wielding a sword, often stylized to represent combat moves. So not the dancing like he's doing.
Well, I mean, if somebody was behind him,
So I think
and
it's
he's
okay for
stabbing
Marines
them.
to do an actual choreographed thing and not just
Yeah, that's like when they spin the shit, like when they do the gun stuff too. I don't think they're supposed to be like
He's supposed to do that.
I just remember they gave him that sword and he grabbed the blade. I'm like, oh man, I hope that thing's dulled.
I'm like, he's gonna poke somebody's eye out with that thing.
Make sure you give him the fake sword.
You know, she's like there the night before, like putting it on a whetstone and honing it.
Yeah.
It's gonna cut the shit out of the cake. Oh God, he lost his fingers. Oh man. Well, let's roll into the happenings of the week.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening?
All right, what is happening? Trump's infrastructure, $500 billion investment in AI. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they have to, but I don't like AI. I just think, Terminator ruined me.
What about the AI movie?
Yeah, a little
I
boy
like
was
that
lost.
movie. It was
A
sad.
little boy was lost for hundreds of years. I mean, that's not a good movie to say AI was good.
He
I'm
didn't
not
care.
saying it was good. I'm just saying, what were you?
He got to spend a day with his mom. He was fine.
Yeah, at the end, after like a billion years when the aliens came.
The only reason you don't like that movie is because you're like, oh man, there's sex bots? When's that happening?
I couldn't afford anything like that anyways.
Well, apparently they exist.
Can't afford that.
So
I don't get sex bot money. So they
I
become
think
sex
AI
prostitutes.
needs to be. I mean, I think you had because it's either us or China. So I'd rather have us have it. But like Sam Altman, who's a huge leftist, is going to be part of this. There's a couple other huge leftists that are a part of this.
Well,
So-
Elon doesn't like him because he feels like he plays too fast and loose with AI.
Also, like I think Elon gave him some money because it was supposed to be a non-profit thing. Then he made it for profit after Elon gave him money.
What did you think about the other dude coming out talking about mRNA vaccines? There's been a lot of people bitching about that.
mRNA was originally supposed to be made to do this exact thing, to specialize in like a certain cancers or stuff like that. It wasn't supposed to be a mass thing to where everybody just gets the same thing. It was supposed to be localized per person. That's what mRNA was supposed to be. Like they would adjust it to your specific type of cancer or whatever. When they just put it in a vaccine and gave it to everybody, no one knew what the consequences were going to be. And that's where the recklessness came. So I don't know. I don't know if mRNA is a viable solution to anything. It could be. I'm not against mRNA if it's like, I don't know, tested and actually proven. Or it could make the monsters from, what is it? I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, which has a sequel coming out.
Which is interesting.
How is Will Smith in it?
It's Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he didn't die at the end of the other one.
No, he
Not
didn't.
in the freaking deleted scene.
Yeah, he died in the regular one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
It was very. Yeah.
Yeah, because the monster got him, I thought.
I don't remember that.
She made
What?
it. The woman made it.
Woman made it.
What the hell are you talking about? Did Will Smith die at the end of I Am Legend?
Yes. In the theatrical release, he did. Then she made it to the colony.
It was very hinted that he did not make it. He died.
Then the Hispanic woman, she made it to the colony.
I don't even remember her being in the movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I was going to say, she's definitely in that movie.
But in the deleted scenes, he made it, I think.
Yeah, they did an alternate ending where he lived.
Huh.
So
what are
they're
they
probably
gonna do,
making
go off
that
the alternate
canon
ending?
and then bringing Michael B. Jordan in because he saves everything, I guess.
That's what
He's
he
the
does.
new Rock.
That's what he does. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever, as long as it's highly, studied, tested, and approved. If you can go in and you're diagnosed with a form of cancer and they can come up with an mRNA vaccine within 48 hours to give you that destroys the cancer, I am totally fine with that.
Yeah.
As long as it's gone through the proper channels.
Yes, as long as it's been tested.
I think people just get a little... I
Well,
get
the
it.
vaccine didn't
I
work.
100% get why people are like, why would you say
real.
that?
The COVID vaccine was not great. You know, so
I don't know enough about mRNA.
Matt, did you hear? And if you did, what are your thoughts on the erasing of Mark Milley?
I don't know anything.
Do you
about
know
it.
who Mark Milley is?
No.
He's all about white rage.
White rage?
Yeah.
White rage.
He said that was the reason our military was.
Is he an old white guy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I would say lucky guess, but so he was.
White rage.
What was his position?
Who is it? Mark Milley?
Was it Secretary of Defense?
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't
right?
Secretary of Defense. It was the Joint Chief of Staff.
Yeah.
So he had a picture put up on the wall there, along with all the other Joint Chiefs
A week
of Staff.
ago, his picture just got.
It was
put
a
up.
month ago.
Oh, a month
And
ago.
Trump had it taken down, and the people that were taking it out said all they know that they were told is to make it look like this picture was never there. The funny thing is people like him and all these Democrats and anybody really in Washington, they're all about legacy and being remembered. And I find that hilarious.
I do too.
But that's why
he took a full pardon, or he took a pardon, whatever it is.
Oh, he probably needs one. He could 100% be prosecuted for what he did during Trump's talking to China during Trump's first term.
Yeah.
100% could be. It's treason.
Yeah.
So that guy was a piece of shit.
And it's that blatant pardoning shit. If I was Trump, I'd be fucking going to the Supreme Court about it.
What do you so I don't really have it in the notes, but so with Pete Hegseth becoming, he's supposed to get voted on tonight. I don't know if he got voted in or not, but they're going to hold the vote tonight for his appointment. He talks about war fighters, lethality, dropping all these DEI standards, and like if you're a woman and you want to be an infantry or an elite unit, cool, whatever. As long as you pass the standard that was set by the military, you're in. My thought on our military, and I think we have the capability of doing it, is our military should be so precise, so lethal, and so like wham bam, thank you, ma'am, that the world should fear anytime America has to get into a military conflict. Because we could have won the Vietnam War and the Korean War.
Breaking news. Real quick. Pete Hegseth confirmed as defense secretary after the tie-breaking vote from Vance.
Oh,
Mike.
Sweet.
What did you say?
Pete Hegseth confirmed as defense secretary after the tie-breaking vote from Vance. So that means cool. 4 Republicans probably voted against him. We have a 53-47 lead right now. So a 50-50 tie. So 3 Republicans voted against Hegseth.
As long as he's in, that's all I care.
Yeah.
But don't you think like we need to take politics, and that's what they're kind of talking about. They're talking about taking politics out of the military, because that's why we didn't win the Vietnam War, and that's why we didn't win the Korean War, is because of politics.
Well, the reason we didn't win those wars because we didn't try to win those wars.
That's what I'm saying. If the U.S. military is deployed in any conflict, it should be so like straight freaking brass knuckles to the teeth that if it's even thought that the U.S. might get into a conflict, it just ends.
Exactly.
And we have that capability.
Well, and that was the thing, like in World War II, when everybody didn't want us to join, and then Japan
Roosevelt let
and then everybody's like,
9/11 happen, and or Eisenhower let no, it was Roosevelt let Pearl Harbor.
He led 9/11.
Pearl Harbor. They knew that supposedly Pearl Harbor was going to happen. They allowed it to happen in order to entice the American people to allow us to enter the war.
I can see.
And also they fucked with our boats.
Yeah. So
the U.S. is notoriously known for horrendously overreacting if you fuck with our boats.
That's true. So if we go into a place to win, not to deter or to, I don't know, drag on to whatever we're doing anymore. We go on to the purpose of winning, we will win. That's just The plain
That's
truth.
what I'm saying. The U.S. military should be nothing more than a wrecking ball. Not, they talk about, the surgeon scalpel. That's our special ops. That's the SEALs. That's the Rangers, Delta Force, all that. That's what that is. Our military should be a wrecking ball
Yeah.
to where you just don't want the U.S. to get into any foreign conflict because of just the wrath that's going to be released on the conflict. I kind of feel like that's Hedseth's mindset.
Let's just put this in perspective. So Russia invaded Ukraine to take over Ukraine.
Putin did come out and say that if Trump
5 years
would have been
now.
reelected, he
4
wouldn't have
years.
invaded too.
In 4 years, Russia's still fighting Ukraine. If the U.S. decided, hey, we want Ukraine and we're going to take it by force, we'd have that Ukraine in 2 weeks
Or a day.
or a day. I mean, that's the difference. That's why we're a superpower and why Russia's not. Russia's a superpower because they have nuclear missiles.
Yeah, that's the only reason they're relevant on the world stage.
They have garbage. Everything else is from World War II or Vietnam.
I wouldn't be
era
surprised if they're
weaponry.
rocking the grease gun submachine guns at this point.
They might be now because I think their armaments are
And
getting so
apparently,
depleted.
their North Korean reinforcements just went over there, defected, and are just like jerking off to Russian porn.
What?
Apparently, that's a thing.
I bet it is because they don't probably have porn in North Korea, so they're just seeing nudity everywhere. They're like, "Holy crap! What's this internet?"
Well, and the Russians, historically don't give a shit about their military and loss of life. They literally, their whole, and it's even today, it's playing out today. Their whole military strategy is just to throw more bodies at the problem than your enemy has. And then, hopefully by the end, they still have a few standing. That's always been their thing. That's why
they always.
that's why they
you're
lost
right.
60 million in World War II.
What was that movie? Enemy at the Gate. You
Is that
remember
with,
about the sniper?
Yeah,
What was the movie?
Enemy at the Gates or whatever.
that was a good
Okay.
movie.
So that's what they did. They just threw a bunch of bodies at their opposing force, and one guy would get a gun, and another guy would get bullets in case the guy with the gun died, so he could pick up their gun and go. I mean, they didn't have enough armament, so all they did was just keep throwing people at them. They just had the people, so they just kept throwing them, not worrying about the loss of life.
Well, that was another reason why I thought Crenshaw was kind of like, oh, we can't allow Russia to do whatever they want around the world. Like, shut up. If anything, other than their nukes, Ukraine has shown us that Russia is not the military power. That was the dumbest thing that Putin ever did because he showed his ass as far as his military capabilities go. The only thing they have are nukes, and the nukes they do have are older.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, they did explode the largest nuke ever exploded, the Tsar bomb.
what do you think about the Dems slow walking these appointments anyway, now that we're talking about it? Do you think, what's his face, the guy running the Senate, it's like, look, we're either doing this and we can do it the hard way or the easy way or the hard way. So we can either do it this week or we're going to be here all weekend. So I wasn't sure about the new majority leader.
Dude,
but I'm kind of liking him so far.
I'm telling you, I swear to God, I don't remember appointments taking this long ever. Ever.
His first term. Like by the end of it, he still hadn't got all his cabinet stuff.
Jesus.
It's just Democrats sticking around, and then you got these douchebag Republican senators. It's like, those are the people, and they must know they're on their way out because I guarantee you, anybody who doesn't play ball is getting primaried. Like everyone thinks like, oh, in 2 years, the Democrats, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Republicans are going to probably pick up more seats, and there's going to anybody who doesn't play ball with what the Trump agenda is going to get primaried, and they're going to have a lot of money.
That Murkowski, I'm pretty sure she voted yes to all of Biden's appointments.
Yeah. And they were all, I think, did he pardon his Secretary of Homeland Security?
Who?
That weird bald dude?
I don't think so.
That guy should go to jail.
Yeah.
That guy was a piece of shit. Did you hear or see about this is an actual thing. The White House no longer has a Spanish version of the whitehouse.gov.
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
for an extremely short period of time, instead of saying just have a home button that takes you back to the original, White House thing, it said go home. They've changed it since then. But like the initial home button said
on the Spanish side?
Yeah, it said go home. The new one says go to home page. But yeah, apparently it's a 404 thing. And originally it said go home.
I'm surprised Trump hasn't tried to make English the national language.
Well, that's what's weird. We don't have an actual national language, but all government documents are in English.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might try to do that.
So he pardoned Fauci, Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. But who are you asking if he pardoned?
Secretary of Homeland Security or
Okay. I didn't see anything about that.
Mayorkas.
No, he didn't. He didn't. No.
Yeah, Mayorkas.
I know for a fact he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy was a piece of shit. What do you think about Trump eliminating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention?
Yeah, good.
I didn't even know I did that.
It sounds horrible. I mean, who doesn't want to prevent gun violence?
It was a way to take away the Second Amendment.
That's exactly what they did. Like, yeah, it sounds great until you find out that it's just like a front for
trying to take away the Second Amendment.
Well, they initiated like other background checks and stuff, and they said they did all this stuff, but it was basically just a front to infringe on people's Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Last thing I got is Gavin is out as governor of California after his term is up. Apparently, California's got a bunch of stupid shit, but they do have term limits on their governors.
Which is better we can say for Congress.
Yeah, I don't understand. I think passing term limits for congressmen and senators should be super easy if you put a grandfather clause in.
That might have been something that was written in when California was a Republican state.
You think Gavin Newsom has any future in any type of political
Not
office?
now.
I think he's done.
I think after the Santis fucking, their debate, now these wildfires, he looks incompetent. There ain't no way he's going to be the face of the Democratic Party.
No, everybody hates him.
Now I'm going to ask you this. Who will be, in 4 years, who will be the front runner in the Democratic Party?
Vance.
Democrat.
Oh, Democrat? I have no idea. I honestly couldn't tell you.
It'll probably be, I hope it's not Kamala again, but
Kamala's done. I don't even think she has a chance to be governor.
She doesn't. I don't think so. I think it'll be somebody like AOC or.
I don't think AOC's got it. I mean, she might be the front runner, like Democrats might.
That's what I'm
elevate
saying.
her, but if they elevate AOC,
I don't know where they go. Who else do they have? They could go with that Josh Shapiro out of Pennsylvania.
They can't do that. He's a Jew.
That's exactly why it won't be. They might try to run some moderate purple state Democrat governor. I mean,
somebody younger, yeah.
And they keep talking about
or Gretchen Whitmer.
She's a horrible governor.
Oh, absolutely. She'd be worse than fucking Kamala, I think.
And she's got a decent amount of stuff that they can bring up on her through the COVID stuff.
Yeah, the feds.
Like she has a past, and the
feds try to kidnap her.
Literally, the only person who seems like a half-ass moderate Democrat is Shapiro, and I don't think he has a chance.
No, I don't either. I think he'd had the best chance though, but I don't think they'll do it because he is Jewish.
It's not going to matter. I mean, if Trump does all the stuff he wants to, and it's working, and using Biden, and even the way they're acting now as a backdrop, it's going to be very hard for a Democrat, I think, to win in 4 years.
Absolutely.
I mean, I could be wrong.
4 years is a long time, but
us as a people have made some very stupid mistakes, and like we had Biden for 4 years, even though we have our own thoughts about that.
I don't know if people were the reasons for that.
No, but if one person voted for him.
Oh, I know. I get it. Millions of people did vote for him. Millions of people voted for Kamala, so.
I do think it's hilarious how people are still like, we had 13 million people stay at home. Yep, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's why she lost. Because you had the mysterious spike in votes from 2020 didn't show up this year.
I do think Trump won Michigan because people did stay home though.
Probably.
Because the Muslim vote in Michigan wasn't voting for Kamala.
Which is
they were
funny.
all
So they
wishy-washy
allowed
on.
a guy who is staunchly with Israel. That's why I never got the whole stay-at-home thing.
No, I get
I
it.
never understood that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to stay home and make sure the shit I don't want to happen actually happens.
My favorite
Told
accounts
you.
on Twitter are I used to be a Republican and I voted for Kamala or whatever. I'm like, why? If you were really a Republican, you're a moron.
Yeah, well, those people are dumb.
I don't think they're really Republicans. They just put that in their fucking bio. So,
yeah, I think they just say that. It's just like Pierce Morgan had some girl in there that used to be a MAGA supporter. Now she's a Democrat. I'm like, no MAGA supporter becomes Democrat. That's a lie.
It's also had people that used to be boys.
no, because, I mean, yeah.
But there is no way some lady was a MAGA supporter and then became a Democrat. There's just, and then is going out talking and supporting Democrats. That's not a thing.
Here's the thing. Like, if you're a MAGA, let's say MAGA Republican.
Not a Republican, MAGA supporter.
Okay, well, if you're a MAGA supporter, the farthest left you're going to go is independent.
Yeah,
that's
you're
it.
not going to become a Democrat.
You'll never become a Democrat. It's too far off base for any of your beliefs.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I'm sorry. It's just
I just know that. And then the funny thing is, she was the only girl on the panel, and that she definitely spoke the least. So apparently, Pierce Morgan's a huge sexist and doesn't allow women the opportunity to voice their opinion.
Well, like we all said.
But that's all I got for happenings of the week.
That'd be different.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Men-
true. Or if she
men
was
are
a
the
man
best women.
pretending to be a woman, yeah. You got anything else?
We have the white slur of the week.
What? I'm talking about for happenings.
No.
Notre Dame sucks. They blew
Notre
it.
Dame does suck.
They blew it.
I thought that was kind of like one of those like water is wet
You think
things.
your live broadcast will end in 0 seconds? And
It's not going to end.
Good Lord.
It just keeps going.
I don't understand why it says that.
I don't know either. Which means we could have kept going longer on our 6-hour election day live
I was
feed.
so drunk, I just saw it. I was like, oh, God.
Oh, I don't know what to do. But, so does anybody have anything else for happenings of the week?
Nope.
That means
Way
it's
to go,
White
P. Hegseth.
Slur of the Week.
Yay.
What's a honky?
This week's White Slur of the Week is lice nester. Whites are known by many to carry and host lice in their hair when they don't keep it clean. Lice nester.
What's a honky?
I hope you all are learning.
We were going to give you Tiny Tim, but I think
I love you guys.
we should give him Tiny Tim.
Lice nester.
Oh, we'll give him that next week.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I really have anything else. Do you?
I do not.
Been a nice episode. I think we had some fun. Not as many comments as we'd like, but we won't hold that against you.
Yeah, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And buy our shit.
Buy our shit. Link to the merch shop in the description below.
Again, feel bad, America. Somebody from Italy bought one of our shirts, and you haven't yet.
Exactly.
Well,
and they
some
bought a
people have.
Trump
Not
shirt.
enough people. 330 million people, and we haven't had enough sales in America. Somebody in Italy bought it, though.